this fellow will never agree, never get convinced, never agree. Lord Buddha, if you tell him, he will believe, please say something. Buddha, do you know what said? Buddha said, you are all fools, you are no better than the blind person. All fools. What he needs is not the philosopher. What he needs is not to argue and try to convince him the existence of light. What he needs is an eye surgeon. Go and search an eye surgeon, bring an eye surgeon. He doesn't need the Buddha. He doesn't need the philosopher. He doesn't need the Dhamma speaker. What he needs, eye surgeon. So they went in search of the eye surgeon and finally managed to find, and the story says, I don't know, correct or not, and the surgeon was successful. He got the eyes. And then this way we also have to follow. In those, here we need, Malaysia need Abhidhamma. High, deeper level of philosophy, the high level of meditation. For those poor children, for the hungry person, don't teach Vipassana meditation. Don't teach Abhidhamma. Give them the basic thing. Give them what in English called, teach them how fishing rather than feeding. Teach them how to fish. So give them the basic things, education. And when you get the education, they themselves will be able to study the Dhamma and understand the Dhamma. So we have to, when we talk about spreading Dhamma, when we talk about preserving, promoting Dhamma, we really have to think what they need, their priority. In the name of spreading Dhamma, we keep on, whether they're interested or not, we keep on giving Dhamma talk, we don't work. So here I did the same thing. First I started the meditation center. Then I realized that the number of people who will benefit from meditation is so small, handful. I started with 3% only. But then I can't teach meditation to all these children, hundreds, thousands of poor children, elderly people, sick people who are living in a miserable condition. What they need is the basic things, some better house to protect them, some better food, nutrition, some school, some hospital. That's how I started all these projects in Ladakh. All this activity I started is based on the need right now, not based on Buddhist philosophy, not on Buddhist tradition. Traditionally, monks never get involved in building a school or building a hospital, running. At the beginning, my teacher and myself were criticized. What kind of monks are you? You should be in a temple, like doing some puja and blessing, building a hospital, building a school, doing all kinds of, what kind of monk you are? You think whatever monk you think, this is what you see the urgently needed. What they need is not blessing. That is the greatest blessings for these people is the school, hospital, food, all these things. This is the greatest blessing. I know in temple I sprinkle waters and it's a blessing, may be happy. Cannot be happy, there's hunger, thirsty, sick. Blessing will come and this suffering will go, isn't it? So I've been very lucky to meet many good people during my traveling and who appreciated my effort and supported. Today, number of projects we started and large number of people are benefiting the poor people in Ladakh. And it is also becoming important learning center for the foreign visitors too. But all the projects are not completed, initial level. There are many more poor children who are in a queue to get admissions, many more suffering, less fortunate people. So it is in a process. We hope with the support from the people who appreciate this kind of service, we will be able to complete those projects and help more such suffering people. So I think I'm talking too much. So I would like to thank you all very much for your patience listening to these talks. And this next time I would like you to come and see directly with your eyes, not through the window of this machine. So we have a nice guest house. Can be rest assured that you will return safely. And may I request Mr. Charlie to give more information about our programs here on the Sunday as well as
Okay, brothers and sisters, venerable sisters, okay, this is actually what we want to see for ourselves. In other words, we have seen it through the video, we have seen it through slides, but there's no advantage until you go there and see it for yourself. So we are offering you an opportunity to come and join us. We go there every year. So this year we are going on August the 21st to August the 30th. August 21st is the beginning of the school holidays. Alright, so it's during the school holiday period. But never mind, if you can't go this year, go next year. Yeah? There are many more years to go. And we also sometimes organize trips, not only once a year, it may be twice a year. So there may be, if enough people, some of you can go during October. October is a season where the snow are much more on the mountains. But August, less snow on the mountains, but more fruits on the lowland. So you have a lot of apricots, you have a lot of apples, and you go there and enjoy a lot of good fruits. So we have this trip this year, August 21st. If you are interested, then you come and join us. Then if you cannot, let us know when you can go. Maybe we can arrange a trip for you, special one, right? To go there. And we go there for an expedition. We bring some goodies, we bring some stationery, toys, sunglasses, and we go there and distribute to the villages. We go to the village and also stay with them. So I think some of the members from Kenrara has actually gone before. Our brother Tan Wachai went last October and together with his wife. So maybe this